Totally not a take two for the start of the episode. But welcome to episode 5 of Bridging the Gap. And we have with us my friend and bro, the co-host Pritish. And Pritish, we have a guest with us. What's his name?
Yes, we have with us today Ansh.
Yes.
Who is the first official guest for the
it's
BTG
our first
podcast.
guest.
Yeah,
Yes.
sure. It's not the first time I'm being on a podcast though.
Not the first time you are on a podcast.
Yeah. So this is my second time I'm being on a podcast, but I don't know. Will you guys upload it? So the first time I recorded with a friend, she recorded it. We recorded it for like an hour and a half, but she didn't upload it. So technically, I think it's you guys. If you guys uploaded, then
Why didn't she upload it?
So what happened was she was going to Mica. So we recorded it in June, and like 2 weeks before she was going to Mica, and then she's like, "I'll record and then I'll edit it there." But and we spoke a lot about marketing and everything. But the thing is, after going to Mica, her marketing sense, like her vision on marketing and her thinking behind it changed. So she's like, "What I said now, I don't feel the same way." So I'm like, but I want to be here about.
Thank you for wasting my time.
So it's still that way. But yeah.
But before that, I think we have to give an introduction to Ansh. We just started off with that. So for all the people who are watching or listening, Anvay and Ansh, they go back to JC. For the people who are not from Bombay, who don't know what JC is, JC is basically 11th and 12th grade. So Anvay, you want to do the honors?
I mean, I'll let him introduce himself. But so the way we know each other is we actually don't know how we know each other.
Yeah, that's a very funny thing
And
which we recently realized.
Yeah, but the thing is, in South Bombay, everyone knows everyone.
Yeah.
That's inevitable.
Yeah, I actually believe that South Bombay is just like a college hostel, but till Voli. Till before Dadar.
Bro. Everyone's gonna already maro jokes. Are elitist? Are South Bombay?
Yeah. What did I tell you before we started recording?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you clips. This you can cut and make. You make.
You should specify. Going to give us hate clips.
I'm going to give you controversial clips. It'll work. But yeah, it's like a college campus, like in that sense. It's like a hostel. Everyone knows everyone through people.
Correct.
Yeah.
It has its pros and it has its cons also.
Right.
Which we all have stories about. So yeah,
bro. So we don't know who the common friend that ties us together is, but we met somehow during junior college. Everyone used to chill. Junior college was more chilling rather than.
It's only chilling. From what I've heard.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. So one fine day we were chilling. We met each other and then we've been friends, and now it's been 6 years.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
6 years.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like 6 years.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It has been 6. So that's how we know each other. But now for the audience, why don't you introduce yourself? What do you do? You are. Where are you from? Although we know that by now. But like a profile.
Like something you feel that everybody should know about you.
Yeah, so basically, I've been from Bombay, born and brought up here, and so right now I'm into marketing. I was in KC while Anvay was in Jain.
Jain was in Anvay.
While Anvay was in Jain, so that's when I met him. And then I did a BMS in marketing, and then I started working for an ad agency, and then I was working for someone called Varun Duggirala. And yeah, now
Shout out to Varun if he's seeing this podcast.
if he's watching this.
I think you should, because you've literally worked with him.
So Varun be like, let me see the kid that I've developed. Let me see what he's doing right now.
Yeah, that
बच्चे ने सीखा है कि नहीं कुछ.
So like worked with him for a while, and yeah, right now I'm in between jobs. So I'm looking for something new.
So if anyone's hiring, please
Yeah, so
help my bro.
For marketing, please hit me up.
Yeah, he's very hardworking. He's a smart guy.
Yeah,
He's
you'll
good.
see by the end of it.
Oh man. So yeah, bro, that's a little intro about you.
Yeah.
And since we discussed about college, I was thinking like this is something that I think all Bombay people can relate to. Junior college though we went over, but I want to come to degree college, bro, because that plays such a big role to who we are, and we're not that old. We ourselves are like 22. So degree college for us is a very recent thing in life. So first, let's start by telling everyone which college we went to. I went to HR. He went to KC. You went to...
I went to Lala. So I was doing my BMS at Lala. Yeah.
Lala College. Lala Lajpat Rai College.
Yes.
And yeah, you did BMS, so did I. And which course did you do? BFM.
But like just to grow a little bit back on the college, I feel all of us, we missed out our degree college life. Because out of the 3 years, 2.5 was at home.
Right, absolutely.
Like I don't like. We haven't had the pure college.
I think
experience.
first year 2019 we went.
Yeah,
and
that first half only, right? 2020, the second half like March. So that time our exams was, and that time everything.
I remember I haven't given exams. I only gave semester 1 examinations.
Correct.
And that's
Same.
Yeah.
All of us gave semester 1 exams, and then semester 2 everything became online.
Yeah, online. Correct.
So yeah, so
and we all know how online happened.
Yeah. So we didn't live our college life in that sense.
That's true.
That's
Yeah.
true. Actually, for us also on the batch after us as well.
Yeah.
They suffered the brunt. I mean, it was much more bad for them because their college started only online.
Correct. So they didn't even have like, they didn't know their classmates.
Exactly. Like they were bonding over Zoom.
And I don't feel anyone attended. Like I know I didn't attend my college life.
I barely attended lectures towards the end. It was like that. Second year I haven't attended anything.
Yeah, I didn't attend at all.
You didn't attend only.
Yeah, we didn't attend. No one.
You didn't attend?
Abhi, even in college we didn't attend. Online to chhod do.
Yeah, but HR used to do all those events, no? I remember I used to see.
Events, yeah. Events for events.
Yeah, we were active in college.
Yeah.
Except the lectures.
Yeah, we were everywhere. We were even in college, but we weren't in the class.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was for me for in junior college. Degree college, no, there was no events also that we used to do. Neither was it attending.
But there was one very important event we did.
Yeah.
Which we have to talk about.
Which, yeah.
Asia's largest
festival.
BMS festival.
BMS festival.
Yeah.
Yes.
BMS इंडिया के बाहर भी है वो पता नहीं था, but है I think obviously management studies.
Whatever it is.
But so anyway,
Tsunami, yeah.
Fest नहीं है,
Tsunami.
feeling है,
We'll put the
Oh
title.
shit,
here.
yeah.
साथ बनता है.
Oh, bro, the video of that song.
Yeah, the whole video. You saw it in KC also, like, because it's normally. But did you take part in it?
Yeah, I came for 1 or 2 events because he only called me.
So
Yeah.
yeah, okay, here's cool trivia though. I was in KC for 2 months, so I did Tsunami from KC. And then I switched to HR, which for all KC HR people, they'll know that's a bit of a
It's like an India-Pakistan thing.
sort of.
I mean,
Not India, Pakistan,
Not
but
India.
in the fest, yeah.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah,
In the fest,
in the fest.
'Cause you're
Yeah, that's what I
competing.
meant. Yeah, that's what I meant. In the fests.
So let's give a little context to the viewers on Tsunami. It's, as I said, it's one of the I don't know if it's actually Asia's biggest, but it's one of the major festivals that happens in
At least in Bombay, yeah.
Yeah.
college festivals. And Lala College does Tsunami,
so
and HR goes everywhere and wins. And we say Akka Mumbai dekhega.
HR
jeetega.
That's
And
so bad.
it's better than
I didn't make the chant now. Where am I saying KC's is good?
What was KC's chat?
KC के लिए
Oh, say it properly.
KC के लिए आवाज दो.
Then yeah, it's literally that. We're not even lying.
I don't remember Lala's chant, so I think that's a good thing.
So I have this one friend of mine. So
Yeah.
we were
Actually,
partying.
Lala's didn't chant because Lala's
Yeah, but we used to go for other fests, right? In that we might have.
They had something, yeah, something they had.
something
But
they must have.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I have this one memory. So in 2019 we had gone for Panna. Panna is Hindu Jazz Fest.
Yeah, correct.
So my friend and I, we were participating in one event, and I know someone from Lala's, he was cheating and my friend saw it. So my friend was like, "Hey bro, why are you cheating?" His name is Laksh. Laksh, if you're watching this, I'm telling everyone about this. So he's like, "Hey bro, why are you cheating?" So it became an entire scene. They got like 7-8 people like, "Hey, how can you talk to us like that?" The cultural committee head, he's like, "Enough of this nonsense, Lala bounce." That's what he said, Lala bounce. And oh god, it was hilarious. Like imagine.
I remember this.
Yeah, imagine someone just coming out, Lala bounce. I'm like, bro, what are you saying? And we were laughing.
It became a thing now afterwards.
It became a thing
like
afterwards.
Every other college side sing Lala.
Lala bounce,
to
yeah.
Lala.
Yeah, so the funny thing is, I did take part in Panna. I was there for one event.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, very random event. So my event was, there was a keyboard and they used to dismantle the keys and you have to remember which key comes where and then.
Okay, yeah.
So most random, like I don't even know what kind of event this is, honestly. But just took part of it for the sake of it. But yeah, I don't remember this happening.
Most college events are like that.
Random.
Random and just anything, bro. Like there's one event I did for Tsunami, okay? It was a pre-event.
You have to wax your legs or something, no?
I remember this. So it was Monopoly, okay?
Yeah.
It was Monopoly, but it was with dares.
Yeah.
Just to make it interesting. And one of the dares was waxing. And you did it, right?
I did.
You did it?
I was.
Yeah, but did you get waxed or
I got waxed.
Oh, you got
I got
waxed?
He's pretty used to it that way. It's
No,
fine.
I don't usually wax. But bro, like the event was so insane. It was like he said, the Monopoly thing.
Yeah.
And then I like you do the Monopoly thing, you play your this thing and you go ahead. So when you start going ahead and if it reaches on a certain point where they give you stupid shit to do, one of the things was the wax thing. Another thing was, bro, they made like a paratha roll, put mirchi in it, put mayo, ketchup, mustard and some other weird shit. Okay,
And
like
eat it.
chunda and all, like very random, like honey, kuch bhi, yeah? Like they rolled that and you had to eat it. That was one of the things that you had to do.
Yeah.
I ate that, bro. I literally ate that mixture of God knows what.
And you puked.
No, I didn't puke. I had to win that. I went with the winning spirit, but that's what college events are, bro. They have all these random.
You know, now you're saying it, it reminds me of your YouTube videos, like your old YouTube that I think all of us have grown up watching, like especially Sidemen and all. Like all this stuff I can see them doing.
Right.
Like 100 and like they have all your weird challenges and stuff like that. This is giving me exactly the same vibe.
You saw that Tinder thing of theirs, right?
That's iconic.
Yeah.
That's iconic. Like that Tinder thing, and like they do the 20 versus 1, which is copied by Jubilee. They were copied from Jubilee, and like the whole scene, everything around that is insane. Like
what's Jubilee?
So Jubilee is a production house that's there on YouTube, and they are the ones. Have you seen Truth or Drink? Or like
Yeah.
So Truth or Drink is by Cut, which is like Jubilee. Jubilee does 7 versus 1. I think they do.
Okay.
It's the one where they'll keep like 7 Americans versus 1 British, and then you have to survive throughout the lineup and stuff like that. So they have a lot of interesting IPs like that to watch. So it's very like entertaining stuff like this. So yeah, it's on the same lines.
So this the Tinder, what's it called?
Sidemen Tinder.
Sidemen Tinder is like a concept.
It's a concept that they've done. The one that they copied was, I think, 20 versus 1. So 20 versus 1 that they do, like with every guest, like you have 20 people versus one person from the Sidemen, and then 20 people will come, they'll give their pickup line, and the one person has to choose like yes or no. And then if they say yes, then they do a small date, which they record. And while the one person is there, like let's say if I'm inside and I'm talking, there is someone in my ear who are a group of people behind where the Sidemen, and they are telling me what to do.
There's another show, I forgot the name, that does the same thing. I don't remember the name.
I know which one. Comedy Central.
Comedy Central.
It comes on
Impractical Jokers.
Impractical Jokers.
Correct.
Exactly.
Impractical Jokers was like your TV watching was that, right?
Yeah.
Of you seeing all stuff like Impractical Jokers stuff.
But the original one of this is brownie points to whoever guesses it. I'll obviously say it.
Is it Key and Peele?
Just for laughs, gags, bro.
Yeah. Even
I don't know.
OG. Bro, you don't know that.
Even the improv one, which was the improv one?
Improv one.
Where the audience gives an improv line and everyone does it. So you know, have you seen 2.5 Men?
Yeah.
No.
You know Herb, right? He's actually a comedian and he was on it. I forgot the show's name. Herb, yeah.
Herb. Okay, I watched like the best moments of the show.
2.5 Men. Basically, you remember Alan's ex-wife Judith? Alan had his ex-wife called Judith. Judith's second husband. So let me find the show.
No memory.
Bro, it's basically improv show that the audience or there's a person hosting it. They'll give them a line or something, and then all of them have to react and do act.
I've seen an Indian version of that. Kenny Sebastian. What happened?
Nothing.
Kenny Sebastian. I was wondering, bro, why are you moving the chair? But
I was just moving ahead.
Getting comfortable.
Yeah.
So Kenny, Sumuki Suresh, who else? A few other comedians.
Kanis Surkar is also,
yeah. They did this sick improv thing. Same concept what you're saying. Like the crowd gives them something to say, or they decide like a scenario, and then people come and say shit, and it's damn funny. Like it's hilarious.
So the show's name is Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yeah.
I've heard of it, bro.
Yeah. So this was like old Comedy Central and everything. Yeah, like your Impractical Jokers was there. Whose Line Is It Anyway was there. SNL and all of these gags are always there.
SNL is still there.
SNL is still there. Correct.
SNL is iconic, bro.
Iconic, yeah. Like SNL gags have been one of the best.
Yeah.
Then I think first thing that comes into my mind and all this is Key and Peele. Have you seen the Key and Peele gags?
No. What is that?
Oh, dude. So Key and Peele are two comedians, and they have like skits and that they do. So they have a lot of funny ones on the net. And these are all, I think, Comedy Central they've done it with. Very entertaining, very funny. 110%. I think everyone watching should also check them out if you haven't already. Yeah, so there's one episode where the guy is a teacher and everyone's so the class student's name, he's a substitute teacher, and then he messes up everyone's substitute names. So it's like it's the most common name, but he just say it in such a funny way.
Yeah.
I forgot, let me think. I can't remember any of the names.
It's like calling someone whose name is Anas.
yeah, but
Sort of like that.
yeah, it's the
You
most.
have someone in school like that.
I did actually. That's why I know. Poor guy, dude. That he was a nice guy, but he used to get called anus
Yeah.
all the time. You know, it was sad, but what were you saying?
Yeah. So which were the shows that you guys used to watch, like iconic ones that you remember of?
Takeshi's Castle.
Oh,
Dude, like yeah, Takeshi's Castle was obviously
Castle.
crazy. Influence, South Bombay influence.
Gurgaon to SoBo.
I mean that's so South Delhi, so.
Gurgaon not South Delhi.
Is it?
Gurgaon.
Like, I mean, people compare it like.
They do. I mean,
Yeah.
Gurgaon is. If you saw first episode, we've spoken about this properly. But like, it's not South Delhi,
Yeah.
but Gurgaon is Gurgaon. You can't, like.
Gurgaon.
Gurgaon.
He sounds only. When a person from Gurgaon says Gurgaon, that only sounds like a threat.
Yeah, like.
It's like Gurgaon.
But Delhi people have the way that this like.
Nah.
It comes through.
Yeah,
You when I first heard you like
Yeah.
on the podcast, I didn't know that you were from Delhi.
Really?
Like until you said
So
it.
I've,
told me that
I've
also.
had
I
I've
didn't
had
think.
so many people come to me and from Bombay that when I meet them, they're like, bro, you don't give me the vibe that a Delhi person does.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what does a Delhi person give you? What kind of a vibe does a Delhi person give you? They're like, we don't know, but you don't give a Delhi vibe.
Yeah, there's the Hindi that they use that's like completely different.
See the Hindi.
But when you are talking to your Gurgaon friends, you sound like a Gurgaon guy.
Yeah,
Like there,
proper.
I have no doubt that you sound like a Gurgaon
So,
guy. I've heard you speak to your friends.
my Gurgaon friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing is, the Delhi Hindi, the way we speak in Hindi, not the accent I would say, but the kind of words that we use, and as compared to the people from Bombay, it's very, very different. So
Yeah. So you know why, right? The influence of Delhi is Punjab,
yeah.
Haryana,
Punjab,
influence.
UP, Noida.
Yeah, UP.
Noida and
all-
UP same only. But still, you need
Wait,
to
did you
spec-
say Haryana and UP are the same?
I said
No,
Noida and UP.
Noida, UP is-
Noida is in UP.
Yeah.
Isn't Noida? That's what.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even Ghaziabad is in UP, right? It's very
Yeah,
close,
yeah,
but
yeah,
it's not.
yeah.
Yeah. So all of you guys have that influence.
Yeah.
The thing is, Bombay has influence with everyone.
Yeah.
Like you have everyone legit. You have people from the south, you have people from west, you have people from north, everywhere.
Mhm.
That's why even food in Bombay is a very melting pot. Like it'll suit everyone's taste buds.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
While Delhi food is more North Indian, like you'll feel
Right.
It has that
You'll
spice.
have a lot of masala, paneer. all
masala
that.
paneer.
Yeah.
You have your chole,
Chole bhature.
chole
Chole
bhature,
bhature.
chole kulches, all of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
bro, miss it.
Yeah.
But so I think I know the reason why people think you're a Bombay guy and not a Delhi guy. Because he's a South Indian living in North India. So you have the South Indian influence of like, cool, calm. I'm not saying North Indians aren't. But like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you have that crazy mix. So South, North, maybe
Milan.
that has made you like a Delhi guy.
That is an insane mix to have. Honestly, like you might knowing you have more stories about that.
Yeah.
Like South Indian in
So,
Delhi.
like, I'll tell you one thing. Like, Bombay obviously has a lot of South Indians,
Yeah.
but Gurgaon also has a lot of South Indians in that way. Obviously, like, I wasn't friends with a lot of South Indians over there, but because mostly you'll have, Haryanvis, a lot of Punjabis there.
Yeah.
A lot of Punjabis there. So, you'll
There
have.
aren't any Haryanvis in Bombay.
there aren't.
I want
There
to
aren't
find one.
many, na?
There aren't. Yeah, I don't know in many Haryanis.
Yeah.
I know a lot of Punjabis also here, bro.
There is. I think
Punjabi and Sindhis are there a lot.
Yeah.
Sindhis are to bhar ke ho.
Yeah. Like
Sindhis are many. That's
Many
true. Very
Sindhis,
true.
bro.
Very
धंधा ना धंधा इधर होता है.
Sindhis and good Jews in the end.
Sindhis and good
Good
Jews.
Jews, yeah. Because bro, Bombay is hub for
Oh, business और-
धंधा
yeah,
धंधा करने
धंधा.
का तो
Actually, his history में there's this damn interesting thing. So Maharashtra and Gujarat was one state first. I think it was called what? Saurashtra.
no, I don't think
The
so.
Bombay Presidency, and it was one state
Yeah.
basically. And obviously the divide was clear. The languages were very different. But Bombay was the capital of both the states before they became two states. So all the business people, majority of them were in Bombay because the businesses grew from
Yeah.
here. But everybody else, like sort of the Marathi people were there in the rest of Maharashtra, and the rest of the Gujus were, of course, in the Gujarat region, which is today. So when it separated, when the two states were separated, there was a discussion that Bombay should be the common capital for both. So something like that. But then obviously Bombay geographically is in Maharashtra. So it stayed here. But imagine if Bombay, because there are more Gujus here, imagine if Bombay went to Gujarat and it didn't stay in Bombay. I mean, Maharashtra. But because that was going to happen. That was going to happen. That
Shit.
Bombay, yeah.
Damn.
Can't imagine that.
Yeah, you can't imagine that.
I think Bombay is like a mini Gujarat anyways, bro. So many
That's
people
true.
here.
I think Bombay is just a melting pot of you'll
Every
meet people from
community.
everyone. Like you'll have South Indian friends. You'll have
It's like
you'll have friends from
Matunga.
every.
Yeah.
Matunga has a lot of South Indians.
Indians,
Exactly,
yeah.
the restaurants proof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You seen that reel, na? That guy is doing idli, dosa, vada, sambar. You guys seen it?
No.
Is
No?
that guy who changes?
That guy is like extremely
crazy,
funny.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's damn
And
funny.
every locality of Bombay that he's done, like he's done one from Bandra, he's done one from
Andheri, yeah.
Andheri one's too funny
Yeah.
because Andheri West is all your media
Offices,
houses.
all
No,
that.
yeah. Andheri West is all your media houses.
Okay.
So you have all your auditions, all your struggling actors.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I shouldn't say struggling actors, all your actors, you'll find them in Andheri because all your production houses and everything are in Andheri West. While your East, you have all your banks, like your Kanakya, whichever that office building is, all
I
your
didn't know
banks and
this.
everything, all of them are in East. So all your major, your finance houses are there versus your production houses are from the West. So that's why you go from he goes my height and all my profiles are this, to goes my presentation is like this. It's insane.
Coming to one thing that I want to talk to you about.
Yeah.
Nice segue. Yeah, damn nice segue.
It's like I'm subtly looking.
हाँ तो मैं बोल रहा था IPL के बारे में बता ना.
No, like you have worked in, like I would say you have worked with Varun before, right? Varun.
Yeah.
So
This is actually something I've always, I know a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's damn interesting to know in detail about someone who's worked with someone so experienced, bro.
Correct, yeah.
Like Varun Duggi when did he start his first podcast? I think this was before the podcast wave in India also.
Yeah. It was like, I think 2017 or 2018.
Advertising is dead.
That was when he started advertising instead with IBM. So, yeah. And that was when there was no like marketing advertising podcast in
Correct.
So in India at least, and then he was the first mover to that. And then he grew that for 3 years and all.
So how was your experience working with them?
Insane. Honestly insane. Because the thing is, the experience that I had working with him, it's more like working with someone who's built like, so I'll give a background on who Varun is for people who don't know. So basically Varun is he is an engineer who took 6 years to do a 4-year degree. That's legit it. Like, no, it's true.
He says that himself.
He says that like these are my words. Like,
Oh, I thought he's making fun of him. He's just
no,
like that.
these are completely his words that I'm using. Like I'm copying because I've like
And you heard it so many times.
I've heard it so many
So
times.
is there a reason because of why he took 6 years?
80. So like
Okay,
that
oh.
sense. So he took 6 years to do a 4-year
Okay,
degree.
yeah.
Basically, he didn't enjoy engineering that much. The reason why he joined engineering was
You can keep talking.
basically it's going to cut to me that. He joined engineering because he liked coding, but then he ended up joining as mechanical. So he didn't get to code.
Yeah.
And then he didn't enjoy engineering. So he was in engineering. He was chilling and enjoying in Bangalore. And then he took 6 years to do his 4-year degrees because of all his KTs and everything like that. And then he decided that he'll do what he wants to do. So while growing up, he had a lot of influence from MTV, VH1. So he's like, let me get into that. So then he went to Symbiosis to do production.
Symbiosis in Pune?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he did
P-Town.
Yes. So he did that. And after that, he's like, I want to work at the places where he really aspired to be at. That was MTV, VH1. So then he ended up coming to Bombay, worked there for a bit. And then MTV, VH1 decided to shift focus. So they didn't want to do all the cool stuff that they were doing, like with music, lifestyle and everything. They were pivoting. So he didn't like the pivot. So him and his best friend, Rohit, both of them decided that, okay, we don't want to do this anymore. And then they were like, all the cool stuff that they wanted to do was happening at digital. So they were like, let's do that. So then they formed Glitch and that became a production house for doing cool stuff on digital. So their focus was on digital.
But digital boom like early on.
Yeah, so this is in 2000. So this is in 2008. This is right after where your financial crisis is happening. There are no jobs, and these two guys are like, we don't want to do this shit. We are moving to doing our own stuff.
And it's not like you're getting into something that's already established. You're going into something that's absolutely new. Probably not new, or like a lot of people haven't ventured into that particular industry.
Correct. Yeah, they haven't. Like you're being your first movers there, and you're doing something completely like
exactly.
It doesn't make sense.
So you're going to be skeptical about every single thing that you do. So it's a huge risk.
It's a huge risk, and here you're going in from like jobs to being business owner. So you're putting in money for it also, right? So even getting to know stories like how. So yeah, that's right. So for me, it was more understanding the mindset with him, of understanding his thought process of like, okay, if he has to take a risk, what are the stuff that he'll do before it, and everything around it. So I got to learn more on that. How do you approach a problem, and then even like experience, like the way how he approaches something versus how we would I would say is completely different, because he has that experience, he has that, and like so stuff like that is what my plan was to join and learn.
And how did you, I mean, I think I know this story, but it's actually a really cool story for the people and for you. How did you start working with Varun? How did that whole...
Yeah, so I think I told it to you, right?
Yeah.
So basically I DM'd him.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically he had sold Glitch to WPP in 2018-19 I think. And then in 2020, 2020 was when I had left working at White Rivers. I had done a stint.
Oh, you were working at White Rivers?
Yeah.
WRM, right?
Yeah, WRM before that.
Okay.
So before Varun, I was working at White Rivers Media.
Okay.
So there I was working as a client servicing executive. And that's when I've worked on brands like Dream 11, Fancode, Dream Set, like many more.
You will get into that later.
Yeah. So worked there, and then through White Rivers, I got a gig at Shark Tank India.
Yeah.
So I was working on season 1 of there.
Oh.
And
met Ashneer.
Yeah, I met
How is he
all
as a
the
guy? As a person.
Very calm and very silent.
Really?
Yeah. So when like on set and all, he used to be silent. He used to observe.
Right.
You could see him observe. And the thing is, no one like went up, because the thing is in set. Yeah, I know how everyone sees it on TV. It's like, oh, this guy's that guy.
Yeah.
But the thing is, on set, everyone's busy. There's no one like just chilling around. So everyone's doing their own things. You don't get to talk that much. I got to speak to him about some things which I asked, like what his thoughts and all. Like, because the thing is, I knew he had mad cars. So I asked him about his cars, because that was one interest of mine. So I was talking to him.
And he likes collecting cars as well.
Yeah, he has a Porsche, he has a Maybach, he has insane cars like that.
This is one reel of his. In that, have you seen that income tax thing? The income tax people.
I saw it recently only.
They're like, we saw it in the morning only. Yeah.
I seen a few days ago as well.
Yeah.
So in that he's saying कि मैंने 2 करोड़ की गाड़ियाँ ली हैं, 40 करोड़ की मकान लिए, something like that he has said. And imagine the kind of money that he'd be pumping, like, you know.
Yeah, but all that is fine. But do you guys know like about the
BharatPe Scam?
Yeah, the BharatPe Scam.
Yeah, he was sacked, right?
Yeah, the SCACT and everything, the whole A&M report and everything.
Yeah.
So what's the, see, I don't have too much context on that.
Even
you know all about it, or
no. So all the context that I have is what I've read in the newspapers and everything, and read news about it.
But upar say what happened exactly? Like I know there were allegations.
So yeah, the allegation. So what I read based on the BharatPe had hired A&M, that's Alvarez and Marshall, to do an audit on this, and the audit, from what I read based on on sources, told me that basically him and his wife used to have this HR consultancy thing. They had these contractors who would hire for their employees, and they would then pay that a recruiting fee for them. What came out from the report was that whole recruiting firm was actually a scam.
Oh.
So if you ask the employees if they came through the recruiting firm, they didn't. And this recruiting firm was done by someone in their family or something, and then all the money that went to this. So
they pocketed the entire thing. Okay.
That's what the report says. I don't know. The investigation is still going on and everything is going on.
And nothing is proved.
Nothing is proved as such. Like there's no win court case. But these are what the reports that I had read of. So it was a whole scam like that. That's the whole BharatPe thing happened.
Damn.
But a lot of questions come in. Like even I was thinking is that if he didn't become as successful with Shark Tank, would all this come to light?
Yeah,
if you think like that,
I don't think it would have. Also, I think people do get jealous because he became so famous. I think out of all the judges, we know Ashneer was the most famous one.
Yeah, because of his comments.
How because he was.
Yeah.
I love Muffat. Yeah. So it is basically because of that, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, you are being, if you break it in the sense of the character sense, it becomes your Simon Cowell in your India's America's
American Britain, both.
Yeah.
It's both. He's done both.
Yeah, he's done both.
Yeah.
No. He's there in
both.
American Idol.
America. he's there in a lot of shows.
Yeah, basically, it's basically playing the character of
America's Got Talent
and Britain's Got Talent. He's
So
there in both.
basically, you're playing that character of Simon Cowell, right?
Yeah.
You're being that guy, no filter guy who's ready to say anything,
Yeah.
and people will
Gets
watch.
you views.
Yeah, it'll get you views.
Yeah.
Why do you think controversial clips works? That's why I said what I said in the start.
And that's why out of all the judges, Simon Cowell is someone that everybody knows about.
Yeah, because you are saying stuff that will work. Basically, if you think about it in marketing is also, it's basically that.
Yeah.
There's this concept called a purple cow by Seth Godin. It's basically, okay, there is a field and there are cows, a bunch of cows, brown cows. If both of y'all are there, will it hit your mind like, oh, there's a cow? But if there's a purple cow between the brown cows, that will pop out.
Right.
And I'll be like, oh shit, there's a purple cow. Then you will talk about it. Oh, I saw a purple cow. Brown cow, you're like, yeah, I'm used to it. So when people or anyone says outrageous things, or in the sense of blowing it up, like if you blow something up, that's the whole way it work, and people you get attention based on that. So
Basically, you're doing something that's unorthodox.
yeah, basically,
Yeah.
you're going outside the comfort box.
Right,
A
right.
great example in something that has worked recently is the CRED ad with
Rahul Dravid.
Rahul
Dravid, absolutely.
Indra Anil ka Gunda. No one expects him to be like that. He's
Yeah,
doing-
exactly.
And he's acting like that. That's how it works.
True.
It's legit. The base of it is this.
The point is to show Atrangi stuff.
next
which
time.
makes
To
it-
show, I think the point of it is to show something that hasn't been seen. It's like that.
Yeah, it's something new.
Like you said, you won't expect Rahul
Yeah.
Dravid.
Yeah, you won't expect Rahul
Yeah.
Dravid.
Or even the ad where they did
Ravi
Venkatesh
Shastri,
Prasad.
Ravi Shastri, bro.
That one also.
Yeah.
I don't. What is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
I live in. What is it?
No,
What is
the
line?
Venkatesh Prasad, the song, right?
That one is the okay. So wait, I'm
Yeah.
talking about two different ads.
Okay.
One is the Venkatesh Prasad one where they do
They do the-
Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, they do the whole song and everything,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
All three of them. Venkatesh Prasad,
was the other
Shrikant,
Yeah,
and
Shrikant?
The third.
No. It's Shrikant.
Akash Chopra, no?
No.
No, Akash Chopra. No.
It's
Venkatesh Prasad is there. I know
For sure. Then there's, I think, Jawahar
Srinath.
Srinath. Yeah, not Shrikant. Srinath. Jawahar Srinath, and one more person is there.
One more person.
Yeah. So these three are doing
Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet Boys, and they're singing about like, oh, you guys don't know me, ask your dads about me and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And something insane, like
Which is again, you won't expect.
you don't expect them to do it,
The
right?
marketing is crazy that CRED does that.
Yeah, it's the base of it. If you try to break it down to the basics,
Yeah.
is this only.
Yeah.
You're showing something outside of of the zone that it will be.
Outside of their comfort
Out
zone.
of,
Yeah.
yeah, and even like I think Virgil Abloh said this. So even in fashion, it's about putting things. It's about controlling the environment instead of controlling the product.
Right.
So he said this in an interview, is that if you have like a broken glass or something, if you put it in a art exhibit, like an art showroom,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, it's a piece of art. But if you put the same thing in like an alleyway with trash, you're like, it's trash. It's the environment. It's not the piece. It's the environment.
I've seen a reel on this also. Where
Yeah,
they're showing like the Grant Road station car, the walkway, the skywalk. So they're showing I think that one is really clean. So they're showing a clean part of it where no one has spat anything, no one has put anything. So it's clean. No one will ever do that.
Yeah.
I mean, psychologically. Some people still might. And then versus there's a part where dustbin nahi hai, lekin kachra bahut hai, haan, to idhar sab kachra dal rahe hain.
Exactly. So it's like if you're seeing garbage there on the road and it's already there, huh? Even I'll
Exactly.
That's
put
why
it.
one more piece won't make a big difference.
Exactly,
That's what you say.
exactly,
Yeah.
like-
It's like
Like,
one-
koi to utha hi lega. Like,
Yeah.
someone will clear it up
Correct.
anyways. Yeah.
That's true.
And we're back. So we switched places.
Because my hand was hurting.
Hand was hurting.
Basically, he was being a pussy.
Weak boy.
Yes.
Anyway, so okay, I'm not gonna like act like I'm gonna do a segue for this, but this is something I really wanted to talk about, and
Yeah.
we did cricket in like
Yeah.
one of our previous episodes, and like it's a fun topic to talk about, not just for us, but I think in India everybody loves cricket.
Everyone knows.
Yeah, and you worked with a marketing agency you mentioned earlier, White Rivers Media, and you had a client which was called Dream 11.
Yeah, so our
Which
clients
is-
called Dream 11 and Fancode. So Fancode does it's basically ClickBus types.
Yeah, Crick Buzz.
That's the best way, and they have their own streaming platform also. So a lot of games that you can watch, like the Caribbean Premier League and a lot of other stuff.
The Caribbean Premier League.
They were recently streaming the football tournament also, no?
Correct.
The Asia thing. Right?
Asia, the
The Asia Cup, yeah.
Who was?
The SAF Cup.
Fancode.
The
SAF. Yeah, that's
They were streaming the SAF Cup.
Yeah.
Then they stream India, West Indies.
They are streaming it. Yeah.
They are
Jio's also doing it.
Jio's
Fancode's
also doing it.
yeah.
Fancode's also doing it.
Both
So
of them.
they stream a lot of these small leagues like the Abu Dhabi T10 leagues or CPLs, stuff like that.
And the membership's also pretty cheap.
Pretty cheap.
I think 500 for a year or something, or 799 for a year.
Not
I'm
bad.
sure.
Not that.
Yeah.
So I was working for them. So for them, what used to happen is during the IPL season, we were live tweeting for them. So live tweeting games is like from 7:30, like 7:38 to like 11:30, or every ball you're tweeting about it. So it used to take a toll because you do it every day. I mean, it did take a toll on us. But yeah, it's just a part of it. Like
basically, I remember you telling me in the peak season of IPL, season of the match, match is happening, the tournament on. And Dream 11, I mean, it's no surprise. Everyone knows the role Dream 11 plays.
Correct.
Not just in IPL, in cricket as a whole. वो तो है. And Dream 11 that time was the title sponsor.
Correct.
Right?
I think
Dream 11 was never the title sponsor of the
So Dream 11 was just
title sponsor.
Yeah, title sponsor once. It was 1 year
before Tata. What?
Before Tata, when the
one of the years they were, na?
When the Vivo everything happened, so Vivo couldn't be because of the whole Chinese thing. Then Dream 11 became for a year.
Okay.
And then Tata took over. Yeah, I think this was during COVID and all.
2021, right?
2020, I think.
2020. So you did it which time? Like
I did 2020. I did it the season, which was cut in half because some player got COVID.
That was 21.
That was 21?
Yeah.
So 2020, there was a title sponsor, and 2021, it was the season that I worked on.
Okay.
Was when it was cut in half because of
COVID.
You know.
Peak season.
Season.
You had to like literally day in, day out.
So you're working for how long? How many hours a day?
How many hours a day, bro?
Like, so because I was because I was working with the ad agency and we used to handle Dream 11 and like not only Dream 11, right? So Dream 11 owns Fancode, Dream 11 owns DreamSideGo. So all of these brands ka deal was with us. So, and I was working in that team. So in that team, all of us were pulling.
It's not fine.
All of us were pulling in like every day, working at least till like 12 because your games end at 11:30 and then you're prepping for the next day.
And if it's a high scoring game, then
and then stuff like that and then everything. So like around 11:30.
Right.
And the plus is like all these brands, not only Dream 11 but IPL in India is a marketing phenomenon.
Yep.
For every brand, it is a marketing dream. Not only like your Dream 11s, you don't even have to be a sponsor. Every brand will associate themselves with it.
True.
Because it's the reference that I give to explain people is that how Super Bowl is there for the US, where like people marketing, like advertising folks go mad, like brands will spend money on it.
Right.
That's the same thing for India. It's a 3-month season where brands are ready to spend money on it. They're spending crores of money on it. And the proof of that is how much the IPL rights are sold at.
True.
Yeah.
If you think about it, like Jio has got it for
48,000 crores.
48,000 crores. That's not a joke.
48,000.
48,000 crores, right?
We spoke about this in the...
We did, but it's the number, bro. Every time I hear
48,000.
my mind blows.
And the thing is, it's not like it is an investment, but they know that they're going to make the money back.
But imagine the amount of money, 48,000 crores. It's not a small amount.
It's not a small amount, right?
But if a company wants to invest that kind of money as well, they're also going to be sensible about it. And the benefit is going to be, long term, obviously.
Yeah.
So imagine people are ready to spend that amount of money also. They're like, we don't mind it, we'll do it because the benefit is through the IPL. That's the amount of revenue that we'll generate over a period of time.
Correct. And it's also like if Jio Cinema is this time's example.
Yeah.
You take the last 5 years before Jio Cinema,
Hotstar.
it was with Hotstar.
Yeah.
Star paid a lot of money for it, and the Star grew their entire Hotstar subscriptions around 70% was because of IPL. And this was a proven fact that 60 to 70% of the subscribers left because IPL wasn't there with Star anymore.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So it was a lot for Hotstar. It was the money making thing for them.
Major loss.
Major. And
because now, and also a lot of shows went off Hotstar onto Jio.
Correct. So HBO,
including
HBO deals all from Hotstar.
Jio acquired them.
It went Jio.
Yeah.
And this is also news. I don't know if you guys know about this, but Disney is looking to sell its Indian Star business. Did you guys know about that?
No, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, so Disney is looking to sell its...
so Disney owns... One sec. So what are they selling?
They're
Indian... Disney India.
So right now it's Disney plus Hotstar, right?
Right.
So Disney wants to dissociate from
Disney
Hotstar.
owns Star. Sorry.
Oh.
Disney owns Star. Or I know Disney 110% owns Hotstar. I think Disney owns Star.
Okay.
Let me check. I don't want to give wrong information. That's
Yeah, no, we should check, bro.
Yeah.
We should check.
But imagine.
We're a very factual podcast. We only share facts. Facts only.
Yeah, Disney Star is an Indian media conglomerate, Indian media company owned by the Walt Disney Company, India wholly owned by Walt Disney Company.
Yeah, that is Disney plus Hotstar.
Disney plus Star.
Disney
Star,
plus Star.
Star.
Disney Star. That's in
Disney Star.
Star India, na? Basically,
Yeah.
Star.
Like the Star
telecast-
Plus, Star.
They are
this.
looking to.
Okay.
I think they're looking to sell it.
So it's completely owned by Disney,
Yeah.
and they want to sell it off. They want to keep their ownership or the stake.
Yeah, they are exploring to sale or partners for stake for Star India.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got it. Makes sense. I mean, what do you think the reason is though?
I think it's right. The thing is, they're losing their subscribers in that sense of they've lost it to Jio. Plus,
So because of that, there's not a lot of revenue that's being
there's not a lot of revenue
Yeah,
that's generated for the
yeah.
next year, and it's also the sense of why the only reason why I think people go on Hotstar is cause first Marvel.
I was just going to say
Yeah,
that.
Marvel.
Yeah.
The entire Marvel thing is with Hotstar,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
even if you think about it, a lot of iconic TV shows like your Modern Families, your How I Met Your Mother,
How I Met Your Mother.
all of these are on
All
Hotstar.
Yeah.
This
we
is-
will switch the camera at the exact spot when he's putting his hand on your foot, bringing your fist ahead.
Yeah, so it's that, right?
Yeah.
It is How I Met Your Mother. So all of these reasons why are people would, and even one more thing is that Star Indian TV shows that they have,
Yeah,
like I don't know any names of them, but all your
क्योंकि
TV,
सास भी कभी बहू थी.
all of these, like your daily soaps.
Actually,
Yeah.
Your daily soaps
Hotstar-
do make a
Yeah.
lot of money.
Yes, and
Yeah.
all the regional languages ka shows, they all also
Correct.
come on Hotstar.
Correct.
Marathi, Telugu, Punjabi, everything.
Correct. So I think Hotstar was like, okay, whatever makes. I think HBO didn't make them that much money. That's why they were like, let's leave, and that's why I think they sold it to Jio. And the thing is, I think Jio Cinema's aim is to become the spot of like premium,
Top notch.
premium,
Best in the country.
premium content, premium this.
Because if you look at the streaming that they do on their app, you have the different camera angles that are available. You
We
have a
spoke about
stump
this,
cam.
remember the
Yeah.
language
Yeah,
part
in
also.
cricket,
Yeah.
they're bringing a completely new experience.
Exactly. You have a bowler cam, you have a batsman cam, you have a stump cam. So
Yeah.
it's literally like you're seeing how the ball is
Correct.
coming.
If you have enough devices, you can have your own PCR at your house.
Yeah, exactly.
That's legit. And it's an
Exactly.
amazing feeling. And plus, one thing I loved about it is that when I'm watching on my phone, on the right, I can see the stats.
Yeah,
I don't need to open
yeah.
like a CRICBus or something, or I
Right,
need to wait for the
absolutely.
TV broadcaster to put in the
Absolutely,
stats.
absolutely.
I can just check the stats all the time.
True.
And that's a great feature to have.
And the commentary, that's what we were
Come on.
My
Original
favorite
commentary.
thing
Yeah.
is that only, bro.
Bhojpuri.
I'm watching the match. I'm switching it to Bhojpuri. I'm enjoying Ravi Kishan saying funny things in Bhojpuri, bro.
It is like, and complete, like, is this something that's a different experience for people? And it works.
Absolutely.
Jio Cinema has cracked that. And even like quality, right? Quality is much better than
Yeah,
Hotstar was
yeah,
providing.
I feel the app user interface also is much better.
Yeah, you think
There's no lagging. I think the feed is also 30 seconds delayed only.
That it's irrespective.
No,
All these
Hotstar-
OTT devices.
Hotstar free, if you don't have the paid thing, I think it was delayed.
No,
right?
irrespective, Hotstar has always been delayed as compared to the TV.
Huh.
By, I
But
think,
Jio
two-
is like
one or
almost
two
the
balls.
same. Jio is barely.
I've
apart,
never
right?
noticed Jio to be honest. Hotstar I know was delayed.
checked.
Okay, you have. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, so I don't think there's much of a gap. Maybe that's something that Jio is doing well too. I don't know what the reason
Can
is.
be.
Yeah.
But that's still a technical thing.
Yeah.
That I don't have the knowledge for that.
Same. I mean, I don't even have much knowledge on cricket. This is more your forte.
Yeah.
Both
So-
of you.
Stuff like that, I think Jio is cracking it. And also the thing is, the model that Jio is working on is giving free. For IPL and
Yeah.
for Indian and Hindi
Yeah,
content,
right,
it's
right.
free. The only premium content that they're charging for is the English
HBO.
Right.
HBO and all that stuff.
And you have good shows. You have Succession. You have Game of Thrones. I mean, HBO's entirely
Yeah, HBO
Game of Thrones.
and
All
entire
that.
things, yeah.
And you know, a lot of good shows are also there.
Correct.
So I think Jio in that sense is good. I think they're recognizing, you know, what the public is going to like. So let's just acquire those kind of shows.
But my argument to that is that Hotstar also had HBO.
Yeah.
Could there be a case where the reason why they left?
Do you think Jio is offering more money?
No, I think Hotstar wasn't making the money back how much they spent on HBO. If you look at the base of it,
Yeah.
why would Hotstar not renew their contract? It's because they're losing money.
Through subscriptions.
Yeah. Like they realize that the audience isn't interested. Like the amount of revenue generated from HBO is not the same amount they are spending.
Right.
So they're like, makes no sense. And as a business, I mean, that's a fair deal to do.
Also, if you're getting something in free, why will you pay? Jio mein you're getting it for free.
Initially,
one thing is, nothing is free.
Nothing is free.
Right now, we're looking at the perspective of a business.
Yeah.
A business, nothing is free.
Yeah.
There is some cost. It is your...
No, you're buying... It's what Jio did with the 4G the SIM card. Same thing.
So that is what...
made it free internet.
Initially, they made it free and then they started
Capture
charging.
the market. Yeah,
so that is what even Hotstar initially, IPL and all was free only when they had just started it, because I remember this very well.
It changed when it became Disney plus Hotstar, right?
No. Hotstar, when it was just Hotstar, remember that Star sign? Yeah. So initially it was free. Before Disney plus Hotstar, I think a year or two before Disney acquired Hotstar, they started charging, because once you get an audience, they also want, and they won't have an issue in actually paying the amount.
Yeah.
So, and that's how you
but
earn
it took
more.
them a while to adjust to that, because Hotstar came in 2013, I think it was.
Yeah, it's
13, 14 is when it picked up in popularity.
Yeah,
and then
it picked up because of the IPL, just like how you mentioned.
But
People,
but they did a lot of stuff also before the IPL, right? You remember the AIB show that they had on Hotstar? That was one of the things, like
you're talking about the news one, na?
Yeah, where they broke down news in a fun way. That is one of IPs which I feel is that for an Indian, like at least for our age concept, it's for the first time we're seeing
On Air with AIB.
On Air with
AIB.
Correct. For us, it was the first time we're seeing something like this in the Indian concept. You never see a creator group move into a traditional format in that sense, right?
AIB was anyway the first mover in YouTube. I mean, they were asked to come on YouTube. They didn't on their own start. Yeah, you don't know this?
I didn't know this.
YouTube India reached out to AIB and a few other creators. Like they weren't creators that time. They were comedians or artists. Okay. So they selected people. They were like, come make YouTube channel.
So then where were they making the content before YouTube?
They were writers, stand-up
they
comedians.
They weren't making content. They were whole AIB is they were a group of stand-up comedians that formed. Even
and
EIC,
writers.
if you think about it.
Yeah, EIC is basically stand-up comedians.
They were all writers.
They were writers, correct.
They wrote Filmfare. They wrote, what is that?
Ads, all that, na?
Star, kya tha? Star ka awards?
Star Cine Awards, na?
Whatever.
Yeah, they used to write for
award shows. And then YouTube India asked them that make a channel, make content. So it started in 2013. And then that led to them being the first movers in YouTube. They blew up. And then they they like laid the path. Hotstar ke saath they collaborated first. Swiggy ke saath, I don't know if you remember the Honest Indian Restaurants.
Oh yeah,
they did a collab with Swiggy. Yeah, Swiggy was one of the major sponsors.
is placing the order and then one after another.
3-part series that they made.
Right.
So all of this content is the skit content that was already popular on the US and everything. And they were the first one to get. Even if you think about it, roast. AIB roast.
Yeah.
Iconic.
Yeah.
It's still the only roast that's happened in India. Yeah.
I mean, we know the reason why also the whole legal battle after that. We don't get into that. But yeah, roast is a concept that was there in the US and in stand-up comedy since a while before.
True.
Yeah.
AIB first person to bring it at.
Yep.
They are the first movers in India to bring a US concept and they modify it to the Indian thing.
I think this is a very debatable, concept that I would say. I mean, what are your views on it when people actually say that, get something from the US, get it to India, you're going to do well?
I think the base of it works. Like you get your core idea you can copy it from the US.
Yeah.
But you still have to evolve it to suit the Indian market.
Exactly. Yeah.
The evolving is that's where the execution game is, right?
Right.
And which is one of the toughest things to do.
Right.
Ideas, I feel everyone can give. The toughest thing to do for anything is executing.
Yeah. Because the target audience also changes.
Correct.
Yeah.
The target audience changes, your sentiments changing, everything changes.
Absolutely.
It's like for example the Prime Energy drink, the one that KSI and Logan Paul have started.
Yeah.
If you're selling that in the Indian market, comparing it with like a Sting or a Red Bull or whichever other brands that are available, the pricing I think is not suitable to the larger Indian market at the moment.
Yeah, at the moment right now that's also because it's imported, right?
Correct. It's imported.
It's imported and it's not even imported by a fixed retailer. It's imported by all these small stores. So
like a Cheda or something. Which sells all
they are
stuff.
imported. There is a plan that I've read that Prime is coming in India, and can you guess who's bringing it?
Reliance.
Yeah. Reliance is bringing Prime
of course.
in India.
I think Reliance is doing the...
They are smart in, getting all these things.
They are very smart in
pinpointing those certain things that will blow up like that.
I honestly, not only Reliance, I'd say even Tata is.
Tata.
Tata is getting into distribution.
Tata is really smart at picking up the small things.
Ah.
An example would be Zudio, dude. Zudio is a great example to think of.
Zudio?
Yeah.
What's
you don't know Zudio?
No.
SoBo guy, right here. So basically, Zudio is a fast fashion brand that's started by Tata, and it is a competition to your H&M, Zara's, but it gives us a cheaper rate.
Cheaper.
Where do you get
absolutely.
it? Bud? Like online? Zudio.
Yeah, so Zudio is the brand's name.
But where is, like, I've never seen a single shop.
Yeah, because you live in SoBo.
So it's not in South Bombay.
People are acclimatized to H&M, Zara. That's it.
Yeah, but if you go a little bit ahead, there are a lot of Zudio shops that are there.
Really?
And they'll give at a cheaper rate than what.
And you get like the same.
You'll get the same
similar
thing,
stuff.
same style and everything. It's basically a fast fashion model that they have,
Interesting, bro.
and it's at a cheaper rate.
So what do you think Prime will have to do to get it?
Okay, before, I'm so sorry, but before,
Nahi, bol na.
let's give everybody a context of what Prime is for all the people.
He's the man.
Who don't know.
By the way, like few days ago, he only told me about it.
Yeah, so this guy also didn't know what Prime is.
I had no clue. I was like, okay, I've seen KSI.
He thought
Logan
Amazon
Paul.
Prime.
Very funny. Yeah. So let's
So
explain.
basically, the context is that I am really interested in creator economies and how creators are able to build businesses in the US, UK, and even in India nowadays. And how can they build a sustainable business from them? Not only through brand deals. They shouldn't only make their money through YouTube or your Instagram or your Twitter. Sorry, X now. But through sustainable businesses. So in the US, this has been done since a while. Where Prime is one of the greatest examples are there, which is a collaboration, which is a drink between it's a hydration drink and an energy drink between Logan Paul and KSI, so Logan Paul caters to the US market, KSI caters to the UK market. Both of them have done a collab on building this drink called Prime, and it's called Prime Hydration and Prime Energy. There are two variants. There's one is no caffeine, and there are a lot of like stuff about Prime. Everything is done. And there's a lot of information about it. So these two is a creator-led brand that's done. And another example would be Mr. Beast Burger, or Mr. Beast has a thing called Feastables, right?
Okay.
These two are also two brands.
I don't know.
Even I don't know. What
you don't know any?
I know about Beast Burgers. I don't know about the latter.
So Feastables is a chocolate brand.
Okay. Oh.
So he has he realized that in the chocolate industry there hasn't been any innovation. So he decided to do that. So he called it Feastables. And there are a lot of like chocolate bars that he keeps launching and everything.
Willy Wonka.
Willy Wonka.
So he's the funny thing, he's done a video about that.
Oh.
Like Willy Wonka. He becomes Willy Wonka kind of thingy, and then because his videos are mass budget, right? Insane budgets, like millions of money
on one video. Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane. So he's doing that. Like that's an insane thing that he does.
He's closing into T-Series now in terms of subscribers.
Funny thing you brought about subscribers. It's okay, this is my controversial opinion. In YouTube, in my opinion, subscribers don't matter. It's just a vanity metric. Because subscribers, so if you think about revenue, a YouTube creator makes revenue in a way of they make it through RPM. That's revenue per mille. That's revenue per 1,000. So per 1,000 views that they get or per 1,000 impressions, they get a certain amount of revenue. And the way it works is that an advertiser comes to YouTube, he'll pay them, let's say 100 rupees for 1,000 views on his ad. Okay. So his cost is CPM, that's 100 for that 1,000 views. So a CPM of 100. Out of that, there'll be a split. From that 100, let's say, for an example of a creator has a RPM of like 6 or something, he'll get $60 from it, and the YouTube will take $40. That's how they make their money. So they make their money on views. They don't make their money on subscribers.
Correct.
So if I have like 1,000 subscribers, but I'm getting views in millions, so it really wouldn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You're getting your views, you're getting your money based on the millions of views that you're pulling. So not on the subscribers.
So then why do people like, for example, Tanmay Bhatt, okay, I love his content, love his page. And he always says that this is one thing he commonly says, 70% of you watching the videos haven't subscribed. So obviously they'll ask them to subscribe.
Yeah.
But that ratio of 70 is to 30. 30% have subscribed, 70% have not.
Yeah.
So why does it matter then? Like why do...
Vanity metric.
So you want to feel good about yourself.
You want to feel good. You want to be like, oh,
I have the highest. Or I
have like... there's also the thing that YouTube has, like the gold play button, silver play button, diamond play button.
Yeah. It's like an achievement.
Yeah, it's like an achievement, right?
Yeah.
Like if you ask any YouTuber, they'll say like subscribers in like the revenue sense, it doesn't matter. It's just a vanity metric.
I think it's more like let's take an example of a person who's a creator. He or she would be having, let's say, 1,000 subscribers, and the content is amazing, like no doubt about it. Versus someone else who probably has 1 million, 2 million subscribers, the content's very mediocre. But in the end, preference would be given to the person who has 1-2 million subscribers.
For a brand deal, yeah.
Exactly, because he has.
Because that's the thing, right? So brands nowadays see that, they are checking the subscribers.
Yeah.
But a good marketer in that sense will always tell them, no, subscribers don't matter, it's the views. How many views are they pulling? What is the average view per video in the last 5 uploads that they've done?
Right.
It's stuff like
Engagement,
that.
basically your engagement.
Yeah, you're looking at the engagement.
Right.
It's stuff like that a marketer should focus on.
I think, one of my friends, I don't want to name him, he said the same thing.
Which friend is this? Achha, you explain that.
Yeah, okay,
Maybe
I'll name
figure
him.
it out.
I'll name him. He's Aryan Katare only. So he's a content creator, and shout out, bro.
Oh, you know Aryan Katare?
Yeah.
I know Sahir.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn good. Let's do next episode.
So he is my school junior, a good friend of mine. So
College.
What am I saying? College junior.
Yeah.
So good friend of mine.
Yeah, even Sahil and all. Sorry to break you, but Sahil and all have also been in KC only.
He was in KC BMM.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. That's how you know.
So what he told me was, I think he was in a podcast. What he was saying over there was, it doesn't matter if you have 1 million, 2 million subscribers. In the end, your content is what it is. If your content is great, someone who has, let's say, 500k subscribers can earn much more than someone who's earning one.
Correct.
Who has 1 to 7
And the
million.
reason why is the views.
Yeah.
The views that matters.
Yeah,
not the
exactly.
subscribers.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that is.
But if someone is buying views, then
You can't buy views.
Buying views.
you can buy views and subscribers, right?
You can buy likes and all, but views, how will you buy?
I'm just random. I mean, bro, AI.
No, someone has to watch it, na.
Yeah, so that's why, right? The YouTube algorithm works on retention. That's why there's a whole focus on retention, right?
Yeah. And
You want
It's
people to
on
stay
it's
through.
not on
right.
a particular one view. It's
Right.
on the retention.
Right,
That's why, to crack the algorithm, it's your CTR, that's your click-through rate. So more people clicking your video, and then your AVD, that's your average view duration. So how much time are they spending on the app and how much
on the video.
on the
right,
video,
yeah.
and basically how much time are they spending on the app. So
Okay.
if your video, let's say, is a 10-minute long video, they're watching 60% of it. Versus your podcast is an hour length, but they're watching 20% of it. 60% of a 10-minute video is only 6 minutes.
Correct.
20% of a podcast of an hour length is 20 minutes.
Correct.
The YouTube will push that the podcast more than.
Because better retention.
Yeah,
Basically,
better
you're
retention.
watching for a longer period.
Talk about it from, a mathematical point of view. Something that has a 60% retention, shouldn't they promote that?
No, because the 60% retention only gives 6 minutes, right?
Okay, so you're talking about from that point
Yeah,
of
you're
view.
talking
Number
about
of
time
minutes.
spent on the app.
Okay.
So from the time spent on the app, the 20 minutes is way more than the 6 minutes.
And that makes sense also. I mean, otherwise, why are you watching the
Yeah,
video?
correct. Because the main, if you look at it from YouTube's perspective, the main is more time you spend on my app, more ads I can serve you, more money I can make. Simple. So every app that way is that I'm not going to let you leave. I'm going to try everything to make you stay on the app. That's why Instagram, if you click on a link on Instagram, it doesn't open on the browser on that app. It clicks, it opens in Instagram.
Yeah,
You're
right.
spending more time on Instagram.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that
And
all?
then it takes you to another.
Yeah. They'll
And
always-
it asks you also, are you sure?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Correct. They want to make that journey tougher for you
Right.
as a user. Ki,
So you'll be like, "Arey yaar, ye kya
maybe,
karna hai?"
maybe
Yeah,
not.
exactly.
मैं बाद में देख लूँगा, some shit like that.
Yeah, smart,
So
bro.
that's all. Everything is all retention based. They want you to spend more time.
But you don't realize it that these companies play such a smart role until you think about it this way from a third person perspective.
Correct.
Because you're using the phone, you're using your apps all the time. You're like, bhai, normal. I mean, you're scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And then you realize the psychology behind it, that it's made to be that way.
Yeah.
They want you to be hooked. It's not your fault that you're hooked to the scrolling. It's designed to make you hooked.
Correct. And it's a vicious cycle.
It's a vicious cycle.
It is. But the funny thing is now Instagram will argue saying that, we have methods where we are working on so that you reduce your screen time and all. If you think about it in that sense, it's a much smarter sense for them to play that game versus deny that. Because if you think about it, if let's say in people continue they don't have these parameters or something to block it, there'll be a point where people will be like, I'm deleting the app. You're still keeping the app. And you'll set these parameters.
Actually,
Yeah, it's a
YouTube and all,
lawsuit.
some of the Google apps you can't even delete, na. It's like some of them you can't.
Inbuilt, na?
Exactly.
Inbuilt. But you can still not see it. You can still remove it from your.
You can uninstall it. I don't know.
I don't think you can uninstall it, but you can remove it like from your phone. But yeah.
Damn, dude, all of these people play an interesting role.
Yeah, the whole psychology behind like why do you want to scroll and everything that once you get into it, it's very interesting.
If you watch the documentary on Netflix, it's called Is it The Social Network?
No,
that's
the movie.
That's a movie.
That's Facebook,
No, there's a let me pull that up right now.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I've watched it and
Yeah,
I'll explain what it is in a moment.
It's on Netflix. It's called.
It's about all this only, the retention.
Retention. By
Basically, how it's designed to pull you in and you stay in that.
It just came out, right? I think,
Last year.
Last year. I mean,
last year, I think it's been 2-3 years.
I think last year. Yeah, but something.
Social media documentary.
just search social media show on Netflix. But honestly, like, people are making shows on this to actually show what goes into it.
Yeah.
And there'll be so much also, like.
Correct.
The Social Dilemma.
The Social Dilemma, yes.
And it's so aptly titled The Social Dilemma, bro, because it is.
Yeah.
It really is. And I would really urge everyone to watch it, because when I watched it, my eyes opened, bro. Like, it's not that I'm still in control of my usage.
Yeah.
But it's scary how they have a hold on your thoughts, your thought process. People don't realize, but they say you don't need to be physically colonized anymore because they're colonizing you from here.
Correct.
Whatever you watch, because your feed is controlled by them, obviously it works around what you see more of, but whatever you watch more of, it starts working on your thought process, your head. So
that's why the whole presidential elections, the whole scene happened, right?
Yeah.
If you get into that, the US presidential elections,
Yep.
A lot of it was done through like being on the US citizens. And there's a movie also about it.
Oh,
it's
I
called The
don't know
Great
about
Hack, I think.
But basically that the biases of the people that run the company that came in. Is that what you're saying? Because I'll give you an example. You know Jack Dorsey?
Yeah.
So he's the former Twitter CEO, founder, whatever. And he, people would say, this is not my opinion personally, but people would say he had a slightly left-wing opinion more. And the content that was on Twitter, the content that was on the platform was more leaning towards that side of political views. And so even when the elections were happening, sort of those biases of the people that run the platforms would kind of come up in what content was seen by people. So what Trump was doing, for example, was sort of suppressed, not shown too much. Or so there's one reel I saw where Trump is saying that he loves his kids, he loves his family, and how he's a very good dad is what was being said in that reel. But we all see Trump as this, crack guy, makes a lot of money, is a fool, doesn't know how to run the country, and he's going to take America to the ruins.
Yeah.
But obviously that's not the case. So it's crazy, because if the person that runs the platform has a certain bias and that bias comes into what the platform is showing, then that plays on the people viewing the platform as well. And Elon Musk, that's the reason he bought it and made it X. I don't know that's the logic, but he bought it. He wanted to change this exact thing, that your bias shouldn't come. You're getting unfiltered, unbiased content.
Yeah, you need to be able to build it in such a way that transparency is there.
Exactly. But you can't suppress somebody because you don't agree with their views.
Yeah. It's a very
thin line. There's a very thin line.
Ethically you shouldn't. But the thing is, there's always a thing of preferences as a game. It's not only in Twitter or anything. Even preferences in life is there.
Yeah, and your preferences will play a role.
Will play a role in our decision making.
But one thing that I don't know if I should say that I'm shocked or if I am curious to know how it works. But Instagram's adapting model, as in how they adapt, how they change your feed, how they change what the app feeds that, oh, you might like this. So I remember I was having a conversation with my friend about cricket. No cricket reels in my feed. Had it, waited for 1-2 hours, started getting cricket reels on my feed.
Yeah, so I have that for products. And the thing is, it's very funny how Instagram knows what you're thinking.
Exactly.
So
don't you think that's a violation of privacy in one sense?
But it happens, everyone does it.
So the way how I know the story of Facebook, how they used to do it.
Yeah.
Is that they made you only give the information in a way where you didn't feel like it was a violation of privacy by asking you what's your date of birth, which college did you go to. While asking questions like this, you're actually setting your demographic.
Right.
Where are you staying? are you dating or not? Are you in a relationship? There used to be a thing, right? Facebook statuses where people used to update that. They are giving their information, and they're doing it the user would never feel it while it's happening. In retrospect, you understand, oh shit, I'm giving them my information.
And your data is being sold to companies. Which then advertise on that platform.
Correct. Your data, basically based on that data, only advertisers will choose the target audience.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's how so if you go to run ads on Facebook, on the ads manager, you have an option of targeting through demographics, interests, and through behaviors.
Right.
And that's the thing. And the thing is, demographics is something that you give. So you can't even blame the platform. But the thing is, the platform is just use it in a smart way to ask you about it.
Correct.
And they just told you, okay, now you give it. And they just made it more interesting for you to give them that data. If you think about it, the platform didn't know. You gave them the data. The platform, that's the interesting part. People blame the platform, but in the sense that people should also...
You're signing up.
You're only giving it. The platform is forcing you to give it. It's just nudging you in that direction where you end up giving it.
And you get that option also in Instagram. Are you liking this type of content?
Are you liking this? And then
yes,
and then the whole not interested is that play only.
Yeah, exactly.
But they say, and I've not myself read this, but like there is like a terms and conditions to everything.
Correct. The whole privacy.
So I think in that it's all these things are actually written that ye sab we are going to do. But who the hell reads
no one reads it, right?
No one reads
also, interesting thing is when you're taking you give them access to your camera, your microphone and all. They see that also. And that's the whole reason why Apple started that whole dot thing on the top right, where if your camera is active, that dot comes up.
Right.
And the whole reason, the base of that was this, because the apps, not only Instagram, like just apps in general would take permissions for these and then use that to like see your environment or track like where your eyes. So there's one like early social media, like not early social media, but like a few years back, there's this AI tracking thing where the camera would track your eyes and then they would form a heat map in the sense of where are your eyes looking. So that way your user behavior checked based on that. So if you're not looking at something, let's say that so your experience changes, then that part would be removed, and they would work on making that app great in retention. So you're focusing on where your app is. The basis of this is used in advertising also. If you think about it, when you read something, you're always going to read from left to right.
Yeah.
So that's why text is always placed left and image is always right, because you're reading left to right. This is basic user behavior that's in use.
Yeah, if you put your text on the right,
you're not going to be seeing
you'll see the image only first.
You're going to see the image
start
first, but you start on the left. So if you want a text to be read, you would write your text on the left side.
Right.
It's stuff like this. Even like all of these psychologies are used in thumbnail making and everything around it. Like even designs, if you psychology behind it is this, your base human psychology is how you're reading. So that's the whole interesting.
There's so much into it.
And the thing is, all of this that's come out. And the thing is, people who are smarter than us, sitting in Meta and Google and all are doing it.
And who haven't been sacked.
So that's all.
Yeah.
So that's that's a whole another wormhole if you get into it.
Right.
That's why if you want to know more about this and the more like you're getting back on the 2016 presidential election.
Yeah.
It was the movie called The Great Hack.
Okay.
So what it did was it explored how a data company named Cambridge Analytica came to symbolize the dark side of social media in the wake of the 2016 elections and how it was uncovered by a journalist. And it is really dark. Like the stuff that they pull out in the documentary is insane. Like,
in terms of violation of privacy, all those things.
It's not more of a violation of a privacy, but how did their analytics cause the 2016 election to go in that sense?
Okay.
How did the whole
basically how did things move in one person's favor?
Move in one person's favor through analytics and through everything that they use based on social media.
Because Trump winning was a shock for a lot of people.
Correct, and that they do the whole breakdown on that documentary.
Wait, so this is about Trump winning or the
2016 election Trump won.
2016 the Trump won, but what is it like? Is it showing that
it shows the data analytics part by the analytical company and how was it used to make the person win?
Oh,
and how did they use those insights on social media and everything around it?
Wow.
There's your mind. Honestly a lot.
Because all of this comes into your decision making, right?
Absolutely.
So that's how it is.
Damn, one thing that I think I'll backtrack a little. We were talking about KSI and Logan Paul. We were talking about KSI and Logan Paul.
Yeah.
The marketing that they are doing is mad.
It's extremely
insane.
like the way that they do
Exactly.
it is lovely.
I think they've capitalized to another level of.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, you started as a content creator, and then you branched into so many various things. I think you use your fame and your power to your advantage.
Correct.
It's a very smart thing to do.
If you break down like the business aspect of it, I'll get into the marketing part.
Yeah.
But the business aspect of it is traditionally a business builds a product.
Yeah.
And then they'll find an audience for that product.
Correct.
In this case, you're inverting it. Any creative business is you're building the audience first, or you already have an existing audience. Then you build a product catered to that audience. That's how, if you think about it, Emma Chamberlain has a coffee company.
Correct.
That's because in her vlog she used to talk about coffee, she used to drink coffee.
Yeah.
She realized her audience also likes coffee, that's why they're watching her.
Right.
She built a coffee company for it. Stuff like that. So that's Chamberlain Coffee.
Yeah.
Then a specific example would be Yoga with Adrian.
Hmm.
Yoga with Adrian is a creator who created yoga pose and all. And after that she got into making stuff around yoga.
Yeah.
Like you're building leggings, you're building yoga mats, you're building stuff around it that your audience will use. So there are a lot of these creators called for productivity in the US and everything that have built products of like your books, the pens, books, everything around it that will help you be more productive, and they break down systems like that. Like Ali Abdaal has his own product, like a notebook line called Essential or something like that.
There's also the Indian version, HRX, Hrithik Roshan.
So even like if you go macro in India, that's what celebs do the same thing.
Correct.
They wear their, let's say,
Being human.
Being human.
Yeah, being human.
Even Virat Kohli, right? Virat Kohli.
Wrong.
1-8.
1-8 that he did
Wrong
with
also,
Puma,
yeah.
and even Wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong's also his
Right,
brand.
how do you pronounce it?
I think it's wrong.
It's wrong. It's
Wrong?
wrong.
I have wrong now. I used to think, bro. I didn't know how it was correctly
It's
pronounced.
expected.
Bro, it's written like that, man. Don't blame me.
But like the marketing, Logan Paul, I don't know what he's into. He's a WWE, he's a
Correct.
professional boxer. What is he, vlogger? I don't know what he is.
He's
right?
everything.
Exactly.
Everything.
So have you seen that reel? He's getting pinned, then KSI throws that bottle to him, he drinks it.
Drinks it.
Then he's, practicing and the
Oh my
bottle
God.
falls, he's drinking it. He's skydiving, he lands, he's drinking it. Everything, hydrate yourself, prime,
Yeah,
prime.
So that's still, those are the older ones. Have you seen the recent one? So they were in Australia or somewhere, and they made the fans throw prime
yeah.
bottles at them.
Right,
They just cut
right.
it.
Yeah,
They cut it
yeah.
up in a way where the first reel that they put was the fans throwing stuff at them, and then Logan Paul. So Logan Paul does these breakdowns on his Instagram called More Logan Paul, where he breaks down each marketing activity of Prime and how the idea of it. Like when he was at NBA courtside, he knew that the Paps and everyone will take photos of him, and he'll come on the jumbotron. So what he did is that when he took photos, the bottles is kept here. He took 2-3 things and he put the bottle up right next to his face. So the bottle was placed here.
Be closer to
Oh
the
yeah,
mic.
sorry.
Ah.
The bottle was placed in such a sense where if they took a photo of him, the bottle would come. And then when he came on the jumbotron, he showed himself drinking from the bottle, but he didn't open it because he knew he didn't have that much time. So he was just drinking like this.
Yeah.
It's genius.
True.
It's genius stuff like that.
And that has got them so many brand deals as well. They are the hydration partner of Arsenal, Barca and Bayern. But they just got
recently signed
Bayern. Yeah.
They are in the US with they recently did
In
an
MLS
MLB,
as well, right?
MLS and
Dodgers.
MLB.
Yeah.
They were with
Dodgers.
the
They did LA
Dodgers.
Dodgers.
Recently,
Yeah.
And it's just the start.
Exactly. It's a year and a half, something like
It's
that.
gonna
Yeah.
skyrocket to another.
That's the thing, right? And the thing is, even if you think about them as a thing,
Yeah.
they aren't the first one to do it in the hydration space, right?
Yeah,
There was
yeah.
Powerade or Body Armor or something who someone did before. A celeb
I
did
don't
it.
know.
Yeah, a celeb did Powerade or Body Armor, and then someone bought it.
See, that is the thing. Every single thing that they do, Prime is involved in it. It's like that. Like if KSI is going for a boxing match, there's Prime involved in it.
Yeah.
If Logan Paul's doing something or the other, there's Prime involved in it.
I think it's smart because if you don't put if your advertising isn't in your face, advertising,
yeah.
you're not going to pay attention to the
Exactly.
product.
Like being human, Salman Khan, I mean, I don't think he advertises enough of it.
No, I think he does. He though wears being human all the time. I mean,
But the kind of advertising that I'm talking about Logan Paul and KSI do,
they guss out
the
everywhere.
magnitude over there is very, very.
Because the thing is, they have been on the platform for years.
Yeah.
If you think about Logan Paul's journey, he was a Vine creator first, then he pivoted to YouTube. KSI has been creating on YouTube since years, like since he was in school.
2010s.
Yeah,
10
correct.
onwards.
And he said this also in a clip where he's like, at a point, I was making more money than my teachers when he is in school. That's why he's like, it doesn't make sense for me to do school anymore. It's fair enough.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're making
if
the
you're-
money
if
that you
you're
want.
making
Yeah.
I mean, the whole purpose of education is to make money.
To make money,
If you're already
right?
making it, then
Yeah.
why?
And even like your parents and all, they won't tell you anything once they see the money coming in.
Yeah.
And it's not illegal.
Correct.
It's not illegal, that's the bigger thing.
Do whatever. If money is there,
Money is coming in,
have fun,
your
bro.
parents will tell you everything in the start.
Yeah.
But once they see that money coming in, it's a validation for them also. Because at the base of it, they just care about you, saying that you shouldn't
Yeah.
feel the money of like you shouldn't have money or anything.
And
like
that is the
Fair
benchmark.
enough.
that's the
That is
benchmark.
standard,
Once you get the money in and you're able to explain it to them, saying
How?
that okay,
Yeah.
why will this will work?
And how often it will be coming.
Yeah. Then
And whether it's a long-term thing.
correct.
Yeah.
But the thing is, one thing like the beauty about all of them, all of the first movers is that they didn't know that they were going to make money. They just did it because of the fun of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think the prime, like the base of it should be you should have fun doing it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. See, when you go ahead with this target in your mind that I want to do something because I want to earn money,
Yeah.
you think of it in that way, and you don't have fun. You don't enjoy the process.
You're not enjoying
Yeah.
the process. You're making it more superficial. And
Exactly.
more
Yeah. You should enjoy what you do. Like, honestly, we are enjoying what we do. We haven't
I was going to get it there only. So,
I
what is the reason for building BTG?
I think, yeah, man.
I think we were thinking we'll do this, make this a separate episode why we started this. But in short, I think we can.
I think, see, man, we honestly enjoy the process a lot.
Yeah.
We both enjoy this process a lot.
Yeah.
No one started like when the idea came, we were like, चल podcast करते हैं, पैसा कमाएंगे. एक तो पैसा guaranteed है भी नहीं.
First of all, podcast में सबसे कम पैसा मिलता है.
हाँ.
Base of it. It's the toughest to make money on
Exactly.
podcast.
But any entertainment field, like if you're not good, you won't. It takes like they say, right? The overnight success is what the people see. But
Yeah,
6
but-
years before that, you train to do well, or
Yeah.
how many ever years, and then you get there, and then you make the money. So like SRK was an actor, theatre actor. Then he did TV. Then he got into the movies. Then he became big. Like so,
People
everyone
see
thinks,
SRK for what SRK is right now. They
Yeah.
don't see
Yeah,
for
they
what
don't
he
see the
was
journey.
earlier.
They don't see the
Exactly.
journey.
They don't see the journey. They see the
don't.
outcome.
Correct. Like how we mentioned Sahil Mehta and Aryan.
I know Aryan since the start. Trust me, since like I didn't know him before he started making reels. I knew him when he was at 1200 or 1500 followers. Like any random guy would be
Like
like
that, even Meeti, same start. You know, started
Meeti,
off,
you know better. Yeah.
But same thing. Point is,
Yeah.
first you finish the story.
So I remember it was 2021. Aryan had one account in which he used to post reels on his content. I loved his content. But you're starting at a very small stage, so you're not going to have that much viewership. You're not going to have a lot of people looking and seeing at what you do. I remember the guy, like, he had one account and he had a private account. It was like that.
Yeah.
He's like, in that one account, he used to post a lot of things. And Aryan, tu dekh raha hai to sorry. But he
Aryan, अगर तू देख रहा है तो podcast पे आ. क्या कर रहा है?
आएगा वो भी आएगा.
future में
में आएगा. Hopefully if he agrees. But so he's like, मेरे को account delete करना अपना. So and he told me about it. It's not like I was like कि हाँ तू ये कर तू वो कर. We were just generally discussing. I remember he's like, bro, I'm deleting my account. So I'm like, अच्छा, like why? He's like, on the main account that he had, he posted reels and a lot of other things. His khud ka photos, whatever it was just that. He's like, bro, I want to get fully into this. मेरे को time pass के लिए नहीं करना. Time pass as in like he's liking to do it.
And he doesn't just want to do it.
He's like, nah.
He put effort into it and make it proper.
Exactly. Like if I'm doing something, I want to get into it properly and I want to make sure I'm doing it properly. He deleted an account. He started from 0. So I've seen him from there.
Oh.
So from there to I think 93 or 94K right now.
Yeah.
Man, the guy's dedication is really good.
It's insane. And the thing is, like, this is a recent example. And I think I'll talk about one example which is like blown up and people think it's one night success. Is like your Tanishos, your Agastya Shahs, your Tarinis, all of them.
Yeah.
Like Tanisho, I know was creating on Musically before also. And all of these, even Tarini was creating on other platforms before.
Yeah, Tarini to started
I think you know
in,
her since Jai Hind,
I
right?
don't know her, but like I remember in junior college when I first heard of her, she was doing YouTube content from that time only.
Correct.
She was
And
making
that was
content,
before
yeah.
the blew up that people think, oh, and all of them will categorize them as SoBo and everything.
The blow up to happen 2-3 years later.
2-3 years
Yeah.
later. But the thing is, these people have been creating since way longer.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it's more on their journey, and even they have taken attempts to become good at whatever they
Absolutely,
are.
absolutely.
I think all of them, dude. Like
All
one
of them.
thing has to go out, whether you like the content or no, that's a different issue.
But just to build an audience of this scale,
yeah.
it's insane.
Yeah, and you have to respect the journey.
You have to respect the journey, and you have to and the thing is, this is only the journey part. One more part that we don't take into consideration right now is that you people around you making fun of you about it.
Yeah.
I'm sure people around them at that time would be making fun of them. Ki, what are you doing?
People see that to us right now.
Yeah.
So.
To us also, exactly.
Yeah, like for sure you. Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
Great example. I don't think that you guys are only there.
Yeah, like I've had people come to me like, bro, what are you doing, man? Like,
Yeah, and you just take it in one year and remove it in the other.
Yeah.
I don't see. I'm doing what I want to.
Yeah.
We are doing. This is something that we really wanted to do, and we're going ahead with it. It's
And
like,
not everyone will get it, and that's okay.
Yeah.
We're not trying to satisfy others, we're trying to
the thing is
satisfy yourself.
making peace with that fact, making like saying no, stuff like this is like the way. So
See, one thing that I have learned, I mean, before even we started the podcast, was no matter what you do, there are always going to be people who are going to give you hate.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Like even if you start your own business, you'll be like, "Arey, iska product kya hai?" You have people hating on brands like Nike, Adidas, big brands, established brands. You have people, even the fact that we spoke about the certain set of people, they also get hate for their content. Yeah. So in the end, no matter how good your content is, I mean, someone may perceive it to be really good, someone may perceive it to be really bad. The hate is going to be there.
yeah. I think there is one quote that Tom Holland said on the Jay Shetty.
Yeah,
podcast.
I know what you're talking about.
I know which
If I don't have your number,
Yeah, if you have a problem with me, text me.
Yeah.
If you don't have my number, then you have your answer.
yeah, then you're not in my life. Something
Yeah,
like that. He
it's
said, yeah.
basically is that
Yeah.
it's the answer. You have my answer then.
Yeah.
It's basically that. So it's a great line, right?
Yeah.
Hate is going to be there.
Absolutely.
You just need to make peace with it. And one thing is that, so Abhish Matthew said this on Varun's podcast called Take a Pause. He said that if the people who I'm close to and the people around me, they don't have a problem with what I'm doing, I'm the happiest person in the world.
Absolutely.
If my parents, my close friends, my family don't have a problem with me,
Yeah.
then
They're
I
all
don't
that
care.
matters. And
Then
anyway, bro, as a human,
Honestly.
you can't handle. In real life, how many, like 10, 20 people max? Usse zyada, you can't even handle those many connections. You can't have a deep connection with each and every
Yeah,
person.
yeah,
20 is also too much of a number.
20 is also too much, I agree.
Yeah.
But like you don't have more than 5 to 10.
I think in the
close
end,
friends,
probably a family and those 2-3 people. That's it.
Yeah, you have your 3-4 people, 2-3 people.
And if
Yeah.
they are supporting you, your
Yeah.
dreams, if they are understanding your work and are like, okay, he's doing something good, then I think that even I feel that's all that matters. Because beyond that, kitna matlab, I mean, we might have hundreds and thousands of followers on whichever platforms.
Yeah.
But even there, one-on-one interaction to nahi hota.
Correct.
And there you won't be able to make each and every person happy.
You can't
never
satisfy
happen,
everyone.
yeah.
That's the base
Exactly.
of it.
You can't satisfy everyone.
But- And if you try to satisfy everyone, you're losing yourself.
Exactly.
So making peace with that fact, and I think that's the main thing, right? I think like even for me, like I wasn't able to say no in the start. Like now I've learned how to
Same.
say no.
You know, this is one thing you have to learn wherever you are. You have to learn to say no.
Yeah.
Irrespective of whoever it is. It's not like it's your best friend, so you should not say no.
Correct.
Yeah.
You should learn to say no with whoever it is.
With whoever it is.
Yeah.
And I had this formula of learning how to say no.
Yeah.
It's the dumbest thing ever, but it works. So I related it to taxi cab guys.
Yeah.
If you ask them for any place, first answer is no. If that guy has that fucker can tell me no for going to somewhere where he's earning money, why can't I tell no to someone which I don't want to do?
Fair enough. Yeah.
And I was like, once I got peace with that fact, I'm like, I'm going to say no anymore. I'm not scared of saying no.
I've started saying no in my job. I've been working for the past 1 year.
Yeah.
So when you're a freshie, they'll treat you
Fresher.
freshy, fresher, same thing, yeah.
Acha.
So
I didn't even know that was a word, but anyway, go on.
So they'll give you all the work, and you can't even say no because you've just joined.
Yeah.
But after a year, you get a little comfortable. Still okay, your senior will tell you to do something, and you're like, "Arey, senior ne bola karna padega." Now I've started saying no. It's like that's not my work. That's not my job. Why should I do it? Yeah, you do it on your own.
Yeah.
Correct. That's the thing. Like
You gotta have your boundaries.
you have to have your set
And you
boundaries.
can't take me for a ride. It's like that.
Correct. Especially with time, like because they're young and because they'll be like, you can work a couple of extra hours and everything like that. I don't think it's work. If my working hours is 11 to 7, you give me work at 11 to 7, that's it. Yeah, after that.
See, sometimes it's understandable.
Yeah, the thing is, that's all, prioritizing it. Like, and having that balance. So the thing is, if it is like, can it be pushed to Monday or can it be pushed to tomorrow? If your answer is yes, then push it.
I think it depends on the management. If the management is a certain way, then top to bottom that will reflect in the rest of the company.
It depends on your team around you.
Depends on your team.
Absolutely. It depends on your work environment.
It depends on your team environment around you, and it depends on your manager.
Yeah.
A lot. Because
it's like if your manager is only working 2 a.m. in the night, 3 a.m. in the night.
That's an example for everyone then.
Then he might expect everyone else also to do that because he feels it's okay.
Correct.
And B, you're right. He's working at 2 a.m. He'll give you work also at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
You may not be okay with that.
This certain periods you have, those extra long hours where you have to, in the end you're working. It's a job. You can't have a 9
It's like you did Dream 11 IPL.
Yeah.
The IPL season ke time you'll have to.
I have to put in that work during that season. Like even with Shark Tank India, schedules do take 12, 13, 14 hours in a day.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it is the fact. But the thing is, the next day, okay, I'm not working. Next day I have off.
And it should
balance it out.
Yeah, exactly. It shouldn't be an everyday thing. It should be occasional.
It should be balanced out. And the thing is, if I have like stuff, like something happens in life, I should be able to have the freedom to focus on that. And like even like freedom around like, if I want to go on if I'm taking 2 days off, I should be no questions asked.
Yeah.
Like if I'm ready, if I'm committing to working, whenever you want me to work, you should at least give me like no questions asked holidays.
Correct.
Like you can't.
I think like specifically for my job, I mean, it's never been a day that, aaj kaam hai, aaj bahut kaam hai, and then tomorrow is like, no. Which I fairly respect because certain times you have certain timelines. You get a project over 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. You have to slog it out. I respect it. It's fine. But that is the thing. Now, like, you'll have certain moments where you have to put in a lot of effort. I mean, and we are at a learning stage right now. We have to, build on that, take the pressure, whatever it may be. But like, certain... people should also understand you have a life outside of work as well.
Correct.
So that sometimes clashes.
Exactly.
Yeah, that balance, I feel it's very important for all of us, especially as young individuals. Right? Because the thing is, we weren't told about all of this before. We are not taught about, or we are not told about anything like this, or how to deal work and everything. You learn it on the go. By working and by making mistakes only you're going to learn. So either or, one way is you tell people before. Or the second way is you make the mistake and learn. But now I'm at a stage where I'm going to set my boundaries in the sense of, okay, I'm not going to work.
I think if you start early and your non-negotiables, like if those are clear to you from the very beginning, it's like saying I don't do late nights. I go home by 11 because sleep is important to me, or whatever. I have an early start to the days every day. So I want to make sure I do that every single day. It's a non-negotiable. Like my uncle once told me that if he has to go out with his friends, and he's from Lonavala, but he studied in Bombay. So many of his friends or whoever, if he had to meet, if he goes out or whatever, you often have to, you stay out for longer than you would like to, right? But your routine is such that 10 o'clock I stop, 7 o'clock my day begins again the next day. So then that's my non-negotiable, and now everyone accepts it. So if you start early, then and if you put it in the right way, I think everyone around you also understands. Nahi, ye iska aisa hi hai. Like, they respect it. Yeah.
I think that's where, right? He's communicated it.
Exactly.
That's where your communication play comes in, where you're able to communicate it to the other person, saying that, okay, like these are my boundaries or these are my things.
And often then people work around that.
Yeah.
If you are so firm about it, okay, there's another great example I want to share. Have you heard of Devon Franklin? Devon or Devon?
I've heard of him. Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
I think it's Devon Franklin. He's a film producer in Hollywood. And he once was talking about how he went for this job interview. Okay. And I think there was something, I may be getting the story not entirely correct, but he was saying that the work required him to work on like a Friday at a certain time of the day, but he has to go to church on Friday. Like he's like, that's a non-negotiable for me. I go to the church, that's a part of my routine. So if I can't go to the church because of my work, then I'm sorry, I won't take the job. He's not saying मैं church नहीं जाऊँगा. For him, that's a non-negotiable. And they loved that so much that they hired him and they worked around that.
Correct.
Like you go do your thing because saying it with respect. It matters a lot to you, so we respect that.
It's basically, I feel it's setting your guardrails in the sense, okay, these I don't want to do.
Yeah.
So in whatever is there in the middle, I'll play. But you're setting the boundaries. The boundaries is, I think, the best word to use.
Yeah.
And one thing, like, I'm not trying to say that, companies should respect. I mean, obviously they should respect, but it's like, see, every person's different at the end.
Yeah.
Let's say that I don't want a person who can't work post 11. And I respect that. That's really great about you. I'm going to hire someone else. I appreciate, I respect that. Correct. Because companies look for certain kind of people. You can't just hire any Tom, Dick and Harry and just be like, acha 11 baje ke baad kaam nahi karayenge, ab aa jao.
Yeah.
If companies have deadlines, companies have schedules, companies have the kind of work that require, like IB, the example that I can take, people are working for hours and hours and hours together.
Even law.
I can specifically talk about IB because I know more. Yeah. So work hours are mad. Wahan pe if someone's like, I have to wake up at 6 in the morning, and they'll give you one.
It doesn't work everywhere. It
so
depends,
you need those kind of people that who are okay with working for however long, and you find those kind of people.
And you choose your job also accordingly. You go if you know.
Yeah, you choose your job.
That's the best way.
It's
even the company should choose, and even you as a person should choose.
Yeah. Exactly.
But there's also one more thing I would like to add in that, like 11 to 7 thing, is that in that 11 to 7, you shouldn't be fucking around. In that 11 to 7, you should focus on the work.
Yeah.
If you're fucking around at 11 to 7 and then be like 7 o'clock, I'm going home, that's not fair to the company.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And if your focus is there, see, another thing, how does the focus come? If you sort of like the work, you have an interest.
Yeah.
If it's not connected only to something that you're thinking of regularly, you've done it with intention. It's like law. You study 5 years because you chose to study those 5 years. Hopefully you like it. Hopefully you selected it with some thought. And then you're like, okay, if I have to do 12 hours, 10 hours a day, I'm fine with it. Why? Because I like the work I do.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, then it's probably more difficult. So I think the focus also comes when you're more interested, when you're more into it, when you like the work more, then it doesn't feel like we're working long hours. It's like you and I love this work. We like to do it. We're doing 10 other things also at the same time. But we like to do it and give it the time and do what we have to, travel the distances.
You need to prioritize at the end.
Because you need to prioritize. And it doesn't feel like work, I think, when you like it.
Correct.
Yeah, there are tough parts.
For this, I'm sure for you all, it doesn't feel like work because you all are enjoying the process.
Yeah.
And it's like just fun.
Yeah, it is.
And we want to put out good work because it's something.
There is work. Editing and all.
Yeah. It takes, but you're enjoying it, right? That's
the dirty work is there in every field.
Yeah, dirty work's there. But then the thing is, in that work, in the sense, you don't feel like you're working, right? And when you're doing that, except of like some stuff, 20% is like, it's annoying stuff that like even like with life, there's like you have to do your taxes and all. No one likes doing their taxes.
Yeah.
Except accountants, of course. But like no one likes doing their taxes. So that stuff is like, but it's part of it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You have a drink or you have whatever you want to do, you do whatever you want to do, and then you do it. You are going to get it done.
Yeah.
Because you have to do it. You don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice. Yeah, you don't have a choice. Exactly.
You don't have
to do it.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's always that the 80% will always should overthrow the 20%. The fun that I get from the 80% should overthrow the pain that I have from the 20%.
Exactly.
So that is the thing, na? Like 20% pain to whatever it is, it's there.
Yeah.
I mean, let's say we talk about DJs, they're having so much fun performing. They have making the music, produce and making sure that it fits to the right target audience. All that is also a pain. Then releasing it, getting people to sign, all that is a pain. So there's pain in everything that you do.
There's pain in everything. Yeah. But if you draw satisfaction, like you said, bro, 80%, 20% I love. Like if you draw satisfaction from majority of the work you're doing, obviously everything is not going to be easy and amazing. Like we had to pick up the skill of editing, which we didn't know before this.
We didn't know anything about it, but we learned it.
Now we learned. We had to.
And now it's fun.
It's fun, right? I'm sure there's a lot
I've tried different things also. After Effects.
Yeah, correct. Now you're interested in it, and then because you're curious about it more, you'll think like, how can I make this better?
Exactly.
More.
Correct.
That's how it is. And that's the best part. Like, I mean, you're living the life. Like podcast is also like, I love talking to people. I love having conversations.
Yeah.
I've also wanted to start my podcast, but I've never gotten out to executing it.
Right.
But that's a me thing.
Yeah.
And you guys have started, you've gotten out to executing it because I'm here.
Yeah.
And I love that about you guys. That,
Thanks,
you
man.
have that. You have that self-discipline.
I'm too far. I can't do
it. It's air. But I love that about you guys, that you are sitting here and doing this. And like spending money on it.
You know, I want to mention a short anecdote here. I don't think obviously the people won't know, but when this was an idea in our heads, I remember I once met you to discuss it. This was back in Feb 2023. Yeah. And we met and I pitched the idea to you, and because you had podcast experience, I remember we discussed it, and that time it was just an idea. Correct. Like, you know, none of this had happened. And all of this feels so real now that you're doing it. Correct. But that time, no clue, just an idea. And then from that to executing, bringing your vision to light, like that's a crazy feeling.
It's a crazy feeling, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's so very satisfying feeling.
Yeah.
It's a great, it's one of...
But so I wanted to say thanks to you, because bro, a lot of ideas that you gave helped, and you know, a big reason of why we're doing this, I would say, is that my conversation with you at least gave me a lot of motivation to, okay, this is how I can navigate through what I'm doing, how I can go about it. And then it's happening. So yeah, bro.
Now I just need to use that motivation for my own podcast.
Come on, we call us as guests on your show.
This has been in the works for the past 6 months. So 6 months.
I think it's been 6 months.
We spoke in Feb.
We spoke in Feb.
That's when you were very initial, like base.
Very initial stage, yeah.
Base ideas, just giving thought.
That was before I even put anything down in writing. Like that was just we had just discussed it, like in conversation. Only words, nothing in writing.
Correct.
And then after that, it led me to put things into writing.
Right?
And then things went on pause, whatever, etc., etc.
Yeah, I tried pushing you into putting it into writing. I gave you the 3 exercises, 3 things. Yeah.
So anyway, we're here now.
There to here.
Yeah.
What a journey, man.
And it's just a start.
See, the entire point is...
Yeah, this is just episode 5.
Now that the process has actually started, when you're looking back, it's just like, theek hai, but abhi now, jo hai...
Yeah, and the beauty of this is that now, like, it's just the start. It's only 5 episodes.
Yeah.
So you're still setting up the systems.
Yeah.
There's going to be a point in like 10 episodes.
No, you're audible.
Yeah, I'm audible. There's going to be a point in like 10 episodes where for you, it's just the back of the hand. Yeah. Like setting up is not going to take half an hour, it's going to take 5 minutes. Because you know, you've done it enough.
Yeah, now the first 2-3 episodes, we spent mad amount of time in editing.
Yeah.
The 4th episode, we have barely spent any time. I mean, we have spent time, but
as compared
to relatively much more less as compared to absolutely.
It's like
so that's the whole thing. And the more often you do it,
your efficiency improves.
The more reps you do it, the more easier it's going to be for you.
Yep.
And but the more easier it's going to be the more easier it's going to be. The more easier it's going to be you.
The more easier it's going to be for us.
Give him a beat, he'll rap only, bro.
The more easier it's going to be for you guys to grow also.
Yeah.
Because you're going to learn from the mistakes you're going to make.
Yeah,
and I'm like, one thing is listen to everyone. Do whatever it makes sense for you guys. Some advice is going to be like, it's not going to make sense.
Of course, see, people will have, you talk to 1,000 people, they'll have 1,000 different things to say.
Yeah.
In the end, those 1-2 things only, just, you know, I'm not saying they'll say anything wrong or whatever.
It's just, they
some work, some doesn't.
Based on their experience.
Yeah. See, listen to them, analyze them, think what's right for you.
Correct.
And then go ahead with it.
Correct. Best thing to do.
Life advice.
Life
advice with the boys.
So,
to each other only.
Yeah.
So I think I'm really glad that we're coming to this note towards the end, because we spoke about the podcast and there's so many more. I honestly feel like we can do so many more episodes altogether. But for this one, I think we're calling it close. I hope everyone watching enjoyed. Everyone listening enjoyed.
I hope our guest was... How did
you feel the experience was being on BTG?
Yeah, we should ask.
Great.
Feedback
Honestly,
session.
Very comfortable, very chill. And like for me, it's all about the conversation, right?
Yeah.
So like I genuinely love talking to newer people and love like just having random conversation like this. Because I realized nowadays.
And newer people, emphasis, I'm meeting Ansh for the first time.
I've never.
I feel at times I was spectating. I'm listening to both of them chat. It's great. But that makes a difference though. Like if you're getting into conversation really well now, it makes a difference. And I really felt.
I think rather than two friends talking, when two strangers, when they talk, they have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Because you're getting to know that person. Exactly.
True.
Yeah. Like I already know Anvay's background and all, so I'm not going to talk to him about that. I don't know anything about you, so I'll ask you questions about that, and you'll do the same thing for me.
Yeah.
That's why the stranger thing is really helpful.
People are thinking these people have called a stranger on a show. Not strangers. Like I know of him.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, of course.
I knew Anvay.
Yeah.
You know.
You meet someone for the first time. There's always a first time, right? With anything.
And the thing is, I feel nowadays we don't get to do that often.
Yeah.
Like if I have to ask you, when was the last time you met someone for the first time?
What a question. That's a cool question.
Yeah.
I know this question. Sorry, I know the answer to this question.
Me.
Yeah. No, you right now and yesterday also. Yesterday.
It happens.
Also,
We met a Uber driver today.
Arey yaar.
No, but 2-3 hours, na, like
No. In the sense of like you
had talking to them.
genuine
I know.
connection,
Yeah,
genuine
connection.
conversation, genuine
For me, it was yesterday.
Who?
I don't want to name the person, but I had 145. Yeah.
Oh, you had a genuine connection.
No. I didn't speak or do anything.
You're talking about a
Genuine
proper-
connection.
Then I don't know. No.
No, wait, I'm trying to think. One name comes to mind, but this is last year.
That's-
I can't see. The thing is, I can't remember too well. Okay, no, I remember. This year I went for a family wedding, and at that family wedding, my cousin's sister's really close friend was there.
Yeah.
And I met her for the first time at the wedding. She's 5 years older than me, so lots
Yeah.
of differences that way if you see. But it was so easy to bond. I felt like I had a great connection with her.
Correct.
I'm still in touch, and I met her for the first time at the wedding.
Amazing.
And you would have spoken a lot to her during the wedding.
Yeah,
no?
yeah.
Exactly. So that's what's
At
happening
the
with us
wedding, and
right
then
Yeah.
even now, and now it's happening
Yeah.
between
Correct.
both
So
of
that's
us.
the thing. Like I feel nowadays we don't get to do that.
Yeah.
That's the main reason
There's
why I
a
asked you
lack.
the question.
There's a
is
lack.
that There's a lack because there can be many reasons. Firstly, we aren't getting out because of COVID. Everyone's sitting at home.
I think COVID has changed the whole socializing scene.
Socializing
only.
scene,
Yeah.
and it's so funny. I know so many of my extroverted friends who became introverts after COVID, just because
Sitting at home and doing nothing. Yeah.
sitting at home doing nothing. They just
I think doing nothing in terms of socializing. Yeah.
they weren't meeting new people.
Yeah.
Bro, I remember I was thinking about it yesterday only. Like we went out, and I was remembering the time when I think post COVID, the first time I went out properly, November 2021. Okay.
Yeah.
And I was sweating so much, like I was feeling, and it's odd, like why? Like I should not be feeling any, and I didn't even know it was anxiety, but I was feeling that like I was sweating profusely.
to meet people.
Yeah, I was going out, going like clubbing for the first time since COVID had whatever sort of like become a little chill.
It become more
normal,
chill.
yeah.
Basically, you were feeling nervous and you were feeling anxious
Yeah,
about meeting.
which you don't realize
Correct.
until you think about it.
And the same thing happened with me was that so it was for the work environment. I'm meeting. So work, my first vibe I was giving, it was mostly at home, online. So when I met everyone in office for the first time, I was like, okay, I don't know what to do with my hands now. I'm thinking, and it's a more random thought to have. Like I'm like, I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah.
Because you're not used to like. First of all, you're wearing clothes only. You're wearing pants after so long. You're like, shit, my pants fit me or not? I don't know.
Yeah.
So
Because you're
like-
doing something that you haven't done in a really, really long time.
Yeah, it's also like conversation, right?
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
you're used to muting and all. You're not used to having the small talk and everything.
Exactly.
It went down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So all of that came back in, and you're like, wait. It also felt in the sense of like, can I keep a conversation with someone in person? Like, what happens if we don't have anything to talk about? What do we do then?
Crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Imagine if we called you as a guest and we only didn't have anything to talk.
I would have become the host. You guys are the guests now.
No, but that's true, bro. I think people lost a count of social cues.
Yeah, and imagine like for us, it was for our main like.
Yeah, it was for
years.
such important years.
Correct.
Yeah.
Doing a call back now, it was for our main college years.
Yeah.
So it's for us. At least we knew how to like talk to people. If you think
Yeah.
people younger,
Knew how to talk. Bro, like people in the 8th grade,
Schools,
6th
yeah.
grade school, yeah.
so all of
But
that.
I
I
can't
think-
imagine online school, honestly. Like, that's,
Yeah, true.
From what I heard, online school was more of a school for the parents and kids.
yeah.
So the
It
parents
was,
were sitting
it
with
was,
the
yeah.
And kid is busy on the phone.
The
bro.
kids are not. You have the environment of your house firstly.
Yeah.
The kid is not going to be attentive sitting at home where you have your phone next to you, you have a
Correct.
TV in front of you.
And you have better entertainment, enjoyment, and
Yeah.
things to learn also
Yeah.
on the internet. Sometimes the classes unfortunately don't live up to that standard. So you're like you're happy you're learning from the internet, man. Why do you need to listen to the teacher?
I mean, like learning from the internet is a great thing.
Yeah.
I think now everybody does that irrespective. You
Everyone
go to
does
school,
that,
you go to
yeah.
tuitions, you learn from the
Yeah.
internet. But I think, let's call it
Yeah,
an episode.
I mean, look, the thing is, you can tell that there's a lot of things to talk about, and when you have people you can converse with nicely, it
Yes.
just goes.
And I think Ansh gave us a lot of insights about marketing today. And, we spoke about college to start with, and that was pretty good.
Yeah.
And Great episode.
Ansh is giving you feedback as a guest. हाँ तुमने ये अच्छा किया, ये भी अच्छा किया. Very good. Thank you very much.
Good guest, Ansh. Proud of you.
No, but jokes apart, this was a great time. Thank you for coming, bro.
Thanks for coming,
appreciate you taking time out.
Thank you.
And we'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much
See you guys.
for watching.
Bye.
Bye guys.